Sagittarius. Welcome to my weekly tarot love reading for you, and I'm the Tarot Muse, and I'm here to take you as deeply into your love situation that currently exists. And so I've laid out all the cards on the table, and let's just dive straight in. So if we come to the present moment, we have the Sun card crossed by the Emperor. So the Sun card obviously is happiness and bountifulness, and pretty much the essence of what Sagittarius is about. So I ask, give me some more information about the Sun, and what I get is the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. So it's this idea of charging in for a new beginning, for new happiness, possibly even charging into new sexual experiences, as a way of distracting yourself from the pain of the situation. So there's this desire for a new passion, new abundance, new creative beginnings, and almost like, you know, pushing it a little bit too hard, because it's not fully wanting to experience what has happened just yet. But of course, this desire for happiness, which is so notorious for Sagittarius, it's crossed by the Emperor, and what the Emperor is wanting is to take charge, to own this disconnection that's happened around power in the situation, or perhaps the shutdown that's happened, that you've created around the situation, that is in fact simply needing to be reflected upon, and a change of perspective. So in what is consciously happening for you right now, Sagittarius, is this death that's happening, and the death is around being alone and recognizing that you've reached some kind of stalemate with this past relationship, and that you're now starting to create some sort of grounding for yourself, some kind of stability for yourself, some kind of consistency for yourself with this death, so that you can return back to this passionate state of who you are. And you intuitively know that for you this is about finding balance. So you're starting to realize that you do need to spend time alone and go into this as much as possible in order to really heal and let go of the past, because there's still some kind of holding on to the past, and I suspect it's to do with the pain of what happened, because what's unconscious and what's coming in for you over the next week or so is this fulfillment, an ability to reconnect to this state of sharing that you love so much in the world, to this grounding and coming home to yourself as a result of walking away from the pain. So right now I don't see you fully meeting the pain, but I see it coming in the future, in the next week or so. And what it involves is, as you come more back into your power and into yourself, and you ground and you feel more stable, you change your ideas around the confusion of the relationship. And so I asked what the confusion of the relationship was, and it's just realizing that how it is that you were bound by the relationship or attached to the relationship. It's around addictions as well. So either you were attached to the relationship in an unhealthy way, a codependent way, or it can also be drug addictions, like smoking too much marijuana or drinking too much. But it's the confusion of the relationship is as a result of these addictions and the burden that it created. And so for you, this healing process that takes place is the intuitive realization of healing that, of understanding that, and then finding the inner strength to heal it and let it go. So it's a process, it's a journey that you're embarking on at the moment. And where I see you at right now is you're very much kind of grappling with and managing the tension, or it's your emotional state that you're in versus your partner's detachment. And what I see with your partner, or should I say ex-partner, and it could have been a marriage because the marriage card is coming up here, and they are in a state of tension and conflict, and they're struggling with where things have gone and what has been created. So they're not fully able to, they're still in the conflict of it, they're still angry and in the tension of it. I see you in a much better place. I see you striving for happiness, whereas they're still angry with what happened, and possibly because of how it ended and how it was handled. So I asked where the relationship is at. Where am I now? Yeah, I asked where the relationship is at, and what I get here is I have the love card. So this really was a relationship of love, but love is complex in the sense that it constantly needs to meet itself, and it constantly needs to meet its truth in order for it to flourish and to evolve. And it's something that both people have to put energy into. And because I'm seeing the Devil card over here, if there was some kind of codependence or addiction or drug or alcohol problems, there's an element of numbing or denial that's happening, which means that this love cannot be, well, it'll struggle to reach the depths of what it is. And what I'm seeing here is, with this love, moving away from the burden of it. So it was love, but it became a burden in the end. And what I see with this love is working towards independence and making a decision to work through the apathy of, and not necessarily apathy, but not really seeing what's going on within the relationship, within yourself, within your life. So really, I really see you making the decision to start acknowledging that, so that you can return fully to your happiness and your passion. So I sense all of this that has happened has been such a huge eye-opener for you. You've learned a lot from it, albeit experienced a lot of pain, and I do see it as a loss for you. Because in the past, yeah, I see that there's a surrender to what the abundance of the relationship was, so that there can be a transformation, there can be a stepping into a higher place, there can be an accountability that is needing to happen. And all of this can only happen if there's a surrender. There's a surrender to what was the illusion in the relationship, surrendering to realizing how it was that you were deluded by the relationship. So when I say surrender, I mean taking the time out to reflect on all the facets of the relationship, and not diving into the next one or diving into ways of distracting yourself instead of staying present with what's happening at the moment. So it's really taking advantage of this ending or this separation in order to come back to a healthy place and happiness, but real happiness, as a result of having gone into the shadow that the ending of this relationship has brought up. So I also just want to mention that I think a lot of what the struggle is for you, Sagittarius, is it has been around your sense of the anxiety around duty, possibly the expectations around duty and stability and grounding and loyalty. I think there was perhaps, I'm not seeing you having felt trapped by it. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing a lot of bad things in the relationship. But what I am seeing is that there was some kind of addiction, and that the relationship was a burden in the end that you were needing to walk away from. So I see you as more emotional about the whole relationship, and I see your partner as more a little bit colder and angry about what's going on. So for some of you, this may not be the ending. For some of you, this may just be some kind of death that you're going through within the partnership, and that you may come back at a later point. But I am seeing what is ending for you, Sagittarius, is this obligation, or this obligation is the wrong word. What felt like expectations of loyalty and grounding and duty as a partner. Perhaps the expectations were your own created expectations that felt heavy for you, especially if there are addictions. We're not fully present with our partners and not fully available to the commitment that the relationship needs, but I see that all ending. So in a way it's freed you up again, and I can see that the most important thing in this reading for you is freedom and coming back to your peace and happiness, because you're creating structure for yourself again, and it's making space for new beginnings, new opportunities, new financial opportunities, and new dreams. So whether this has to do with the existing relationship that goes through a change, or your own life moving forward, I can only determine that in a private reading, where specifically for you we can go deeper, if this is something that interests you. And if it is, you can find my email address in the description box. But yeah, I hope this was helpful to you. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like to my channel, and feel free to leave comments. And remember, I'll be back next week with another reading so we can go even deeper. And thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye for now.